4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to talk about your lens covers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that necessitates a bit of a background. So basically, not that I was bored, but I got it in my head that, hey, you know what? I could really use some lenses. Because if I wanted to get back into doing creative things like we're doing, maybe some lenses would be good. So I did a search for cheap lenses on eBay. And I found this. A lot of 7 lenses, untested, $50.
7? Jeez.
Like, okay, this guy maybe doesn't know what he has because, you know, a lot of 7 camera lenses, untested Tokina Sears Vivitar camera. The states fail, fine, all super clean. They weren't. But it's like, that looks like an E-mount. Can I really get an E-mount lens for $50? I mean, they're slow, but 28 to 105 is a good range. So I put a watch on it and I let it sit. And what ultimately happened was within a few hours, I got a notification that I got an offer on it. You knocked $15 off of it.
Wait, what?
So the seller
you can make an offer?
The seller can make me an offer.
Just because you're watching it?
Yeah.
That's new. Oh.
That is very new. So I get an offer for $35 for these lenses. I'm like, that covers shipping. Well, 35 plus 15 shipping is the 50 that it was normally.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, that's what, $5 a lens at that point? Minus the shipping?
Less than. There's 7 of them.
That's what I said. Minus the shipping. So 35 divided by 7 is 5.
Oh, fair enough. Yes.
Yeah, I said 5, not 10. But yeah, geez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But when I got them, they were not E-mounts. I had a mixture of lens mounts. So this is actually a Canon FD mount, which is a bayonet lens mount system.
Does the FD stand for doo-doo?
If only. So what I did then was I went onto the internet. I did a search for cheap lens mount adapters, and I found something by Photodiox. I don't know if that's really readable there.
It's not. Put your hand behind it.
My hand.
Yeah. There you go.
Exposure control.
Well, because it's aiming at your face, too.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Uh-huh.
So I got this, and of course, they're not all the same lens back. So that means that I need more lens adapters.
Gonna spend more on adapters than you are on lenses.
Yeah, so I'm 2 adapters in at $25 an adapter.
Eesh.
And I can use 4 lenses.
Okay. 4 lenses sounds like a suspiciously interesting number.
Well, the lens that I had originally bought this for is actually not E-mount.
Oh, out of that whole set, you were looking at one lens specifically?
Yeah, the Tamron 28 to 105.
Well, why didn't you look that up before you...
Because it looked very similar to an E-mount. It's actually an A-mount.
I was going to say F, because that's close to E.
Yeah. So
does that mean you can, like, 3D print an adapter to make them fit?
I could, but at $25 an adapter, I'm okay with that. It's still way, because even on the B&H sale, I'm looking at $100 for a lens.
Jeez.
For a prime lens.
What is this? Prime means good, though, right?
No, prime means,
like grade
so this
A
is a
fancy?
zoom.
So prime
this is a
doesn't
28
mean
to 105.
good.
Prime just means that it's a set focal length. So I could get a 28 millimeter lens.
They just say that.
Lens. What?
Why don't they just say that?
Well, that's what prime means.
Yeah, but like prime rib is the best rib.
I mean, some will argue that prime lenses are better because they're faster. They let in more light. They have fewer elements. They're smaller. But whatever.
But you're giving up
the flexibility of the zoom.
So one lens might be lighter, but two lenses is definitely heavier than one lens.
But
Unless
it's a
it's like a,
faster lens. So for low light situations, a prime might be better.
but then you got to do that whole thing where you back up and go forward to try and figure out the. Eh.
Yeah. It's all artistic and technical, and it's a weird merging of the two.
Mm.
But I did not get lens caps for a lot of these lenses, which is why I asked you to make the absolutely fantastic lens covers. I mean, these are just amazing.
They're
I
such
love it.
trash.
This is great. It also, I see what you mean. I see what you mean about not being happy with the stitching.
Oh yeah, no. Well, so to be perfectly honest, if I were to do this again, and I would be willing to, I'm gonna buy some yellow thread so you don't see the stitching as much. But no, I can't stitch a circle, like to save my life.
Yeah, it's also like very difficult just to make that happen.
And that knockoff neoprene was kind of, but like I looked at what was that brand? The lens coat, lens sock or whatever. Like and it just all the unfinished edges. I just didn't like the way it looked, and they were charging like $13-15 a pop. And okay, yeah, it had a piece of foam and a piece of plastic in there. I could 3D print a piece of plastic if I wanted to, but I just so those are supposed to be the size of the lenses from the pictures that you sent me. And
I
clearly
realize
it
now
didn't turn out that way. Because that's why I asked for measurements and the pictures, so I could figure out like the shape and whatnot. Because most of them were basically just straight up, and I made the shoulder. They were easy to knock out in like 5 minutes in Fusion, and then print them. Take an hour and a half. But I wasn't sure how it was going to stretch and go around there. So, like one of them was really loose. Well, not like really loose, but like super loose. The others were kind of tight. I wasn't sure like how they were gonna work for you. But they seem to go on there and not like fly off if you turn it upside down. So
yeah, exactly.
Without squeezing too hard that you have a hard time putting it on there.
Right. I mean, whoop de whoop, boom, done.
Yeah. But then I got the microfiber towel in there because you were like, "Oh, I want microfiber." That's what the blue is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This way, it doesn't ideally doesn't scratch the front. Because what I'm going to do is I don't know, depending on how they get set down, this might go in, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, which it should still be fine because like the lens envelopes or whatever you want to call them that go around the whole lens, like as a wrap, like a case, but not a case.
Right.
Which is what I thought you wanted originally. And then you're like, no, I just want the covers and yeah.
I just want to protect the elements. That's the front and rear elements. That's all I want to protect.
Yeah, but you didn't ask me for anything for the back. I asked you if you want anything for the back, and you're like, no, just the front.
Yeah, and I forget what my reason. Actually, no, I do know what my reasonings was. My reasoning for that is whatever the back mount is, it is, and I can order those proper caps, especially for like the actual adapter. So like I've got the FD to E mount adapter here. I can get an E mount cap and just put that on the back of here and be done. Whereas the fronts, they're all different diameters. I don't trust them being the same threading. I don't know. Like this is a 55 millimeter.
But couldn't you just like get a specific thing for a specific lens? Or they don't? Or are they so different that you can't get like what's that word when it covers multiple things and it's not actually designed for any of them, but it fits?
Not generic.
Yeah, generic works. Like a generic,
or
based
variable,
on like a certain
whatever
size, like just boom.
Yeah, that's basically what I've asked you for here, because this can work on several of these lenses.
Yeah, the sizes were actually quite similar.
Yeah. But if I were to get like a piece of plastic, like the plastic caps, they only have like I think a millimeter or two tolerance. Yeah. Because they've got that little springy bit. So that was just my whole thing was protect the front elements. I can take them out of the cardboard box that I have been keeping them in.
As he drops them.
God, that would be very, very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I
but
still
yeah, mhm.
because I did get extra of that. It's not. I don't think it's actually neoprene because that's made by DuPont. It's
Right.
chloroprene is the generic term for the material, and I still don't think it's 100% correct. Like looking at the way, like you can't see it because of the edges, because somebody actually finished it, so you can't see the raw edges of the material. I mean,
That's
imagine that.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Except on one, you can because that was the first one I did. That was the one number 4,
And
which
of
should be
course,
the
I've
one
taken
that,
them all off the lens
of
caps
course,
or the plastic bits, so
yeah, the
I have no
dummies.
idea which one actually went on number
Yeah.
4.
It's the one that was loose, the one that didn't fit as tight as the others. It's also the one that looks the worst because it's the one I made first.
Fair enough.
But you'll notice on the ring on that one that I didn't turn it inside out because like I decided to change up how I made them after that one, but I didn't feel like remaking that one. But I have enough material that like I could definitely
Mm,
make like the envelopes or whatever. That's
okay.
not it.
Dang.
Or at least okay, so what you need to look at is
Mhm.
the inner outer edge. So the ring, but on the inside. You'll see like one edge that looks unfinished. Not the round part, the flat part. It'll be like folded over. Not no, like 3 of them look like that.
I,
Like
I'm
like,
I'm not
like
a seamster. I'm terrible with threading, so I
okay,
identifying.
so look at the way that the cylinder part overlaps like this on 3 of them,
Yes.
like that. On one of them, it goes like this and then folds over, like that. If that
Oh,
makes sense. Actually, that's really accurate of how I did it too, like that and then like that.
that would be this one then.
Yeah, that's the one. Mm,
That you
that
can see the edge in
no,
in
no,
here.
that one is that's this again. One of these things is not like the other. That also looks like this.
They all look like that.
There's 3 that look like this, and then there's one. Are you? Here's the difference. Are you ready? You have
Yeah.
this, and you have this.
Okay.
The fact that you can't tell the difference is actually like it makes me feel better that you don't notice it. Like it's fine. It's just a thing that I noticed because I made them.
Fair enough. I mean,
But yeah,
dude, these are brilliant and I love them and they're fantastic. I know you don't think they're good enough.
clearly I don't.
Th- Honestly, they cover the lens elements.
Yeah.
That is what I asked for, and that is exactly what they do. I think they're brilliant, and I got to say the colors are amazing. I.e. the yellow. I mean,
Well,
they stand out.
I
This is
figured the
great.
yellow it's important to be able to see it, and also if it gets dirty, like it falls in dust, you'll be able to also see that and know, hey,
Mm-hmm.
don't put dusty thing on the lens so I don't scratch it. But
Exactly.
but no, when you said I have a microfiber cloth and a rubber band and I want it to be better than that, I was like, well, okay, that's a pretty low bar. I can probably meet that.
Yeah. You definitely exceeded that. I mean, yeah, this is great. I love this. This is great. And the fact that this works as a bonus.
Yeah, those are supposed to be the same outer diameter. That's the part when you said you could do that. I was like, my pictures
I
aren't.
mean, if I had sent you accurate measurements, it wouldn't have been this good.
No, absolutely not. That was based off
Because
of your picture and me going. So Fusion 360 has this feature where you can be
Mhm.
like, hey, here's an image. Now scale the image to my thing. Like, hey, this is 4 inches. Scale the image
Mhm.
to be that on my background, on my sketch.
Mhm.
Did I do that? Absolutely not. I looked at the picture and said, that's good enough. Bam, print.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I
And I
figured
think I had
it can
sorry.
stretch. So I was like,
Mhm.
as long as it's not too tight, it should be fine. But then it worked
Right.
in the opposite direction that they were too big. So that too much stretch isn't actually too much stretch.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I mean, Yeah, I think these are brilliant and fantastic, and they do exactly what I needed them to do. Because now I can take these out of the box, I can put them on a shelf, and I can deal with that.
You can enjoy the jalapeno string cheese that I got by accident.
Jalapeno string cheese.
I heard jalapeno cream cheese. And I was like, cheesecake.
Woo! Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, I'm bringing cheese to work this week.
Ooh, poor people at work.
Yeah, on both fronts.
One front's back. Funny story about cheese though. But first,
Oh no.
and not but. With that material, it's 1.5 millimeters thick. So doubling it up made the 3 millimeters, which I think was enough for the stretchy part. But
Yes.
the amount of layers that were there, and doing that with my machine, like
Oh.
it just barely fit. Like when I was attaching the round part, yeah, the foot pressing down. Except it's not anything like what you just did, because you're holding it inside out and stretching it, but not stretching it and trying to maneuver it. It's awful.
Gotcha.
Absolutely awful. That's why it's not like a straight line stitch like you see around.
Okay.
But
I figured it was stretching your machine a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it.
Well, yeah. But it turns out that it was tall enough that the presser foot, because mine, I can push it up so I can get more clearance to get the material in and out easier. But when it's in resting position or whatever, resting but up as opposed to down where it's supposed to be, it looked like it was all the way down because it was on top of the material.
Right.
Well, if you don't put it down like with the lever, even though it makes no difference in the height, it doesn't stitch properly.
Engaged.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of swearing with that.
Oh
but
boy.
it turned out okay.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, sir.
Now, as far as cheese, I went to the doctor, finally, because my appointment was, whatever. And I need to eat less cheese because my cholesterol's a little high. That's all. Otherwise, lose 10 pounds, you'll be fine.
Wow, you're so
Come back
old
in a
that you
year.
have cholesterol problems.
Well,
Wow.
Well, okay, so my cholesterol problem is the fact that I was hiking for 3 weeks and eating garbage like honey buns and bear claws and whatever else I could eat that would give me calories. That
Fair
was the
enough.
problem. I mean, if I what? What'd you lose?
No, I'm looking at these lenses. I had all of these caps on lenses, and now I've completely mixed up what's where and what, how, where.
Yeah, they don't all fit.
But they did. They did. I have the pictures to prove it.
Yeah. Well, you should have labeled. I was gonna label them, but I wasn't sure how you wanted to do it, so I figured I'd let you do it. And if you have, I doubt you're gonna wash them, and washing Sharpie will just make it turn purple. But if you use the washer safe Sharpie, then it's fine. So you could actually label like which one goes to what, like
Just like
on the inside, or like on the inside of the ring. This way, it's not on the outside, but you can. This way, you'd still. Yeah.
I almost would do it on the outside. This way, when I'm looking at all the lenses on the table, I could just be like, "That's the lens I need." Yoink.
Oh, I figured you could do that by looking at the lens and be like, "Yeah, I want the big lens. Oh, I want the little lens."
I mean, some of them, the differences are subtle. For instance, this particular one is a.
Yeah, but that one has a cap, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but this one, it's not even on the barrel. It's in under the lens cap. This is a 28 to 85 lens. Ooh, actually, I want to use that lens more.
Get out your label maker.
What?
Get out your label maker.
Yeah, I know. And this one's a 70 to 210, but it's only under here that it's labeled.
Well, that's dumb.
Dude,
And now it's number 2.
All in on these lenses, $100. I'm happy. I am more than thrilled with them. Now I just got to actually take pictures and video.
And does that mean you can use all 7 of them now?
I can use 4 of them.
Okay.
And all of these beach shots that I have been playing over the video when I actually edit this are all from just one of the lenses, the 70 to 210. Oops, hello. Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out my camera settings. I'm still trying to figure out the lens settings and make it all work together. I got to clean the lenses. I've got a lens cleaning kit coming. But yeah, I am super happy with what I walked away with for $100.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent more on material lately than that.
Oh, me.
No, not on your thing. Just
In general.
yeah, I bought so much like I came back from the trail and I was just like, okay, we're buying all of this fabric. Crap. It's all good. I want to make a quilt this week.
What quilt?
It was a quilt that was supposed to have been made a year ago.
Oh.
But
Oh, well.
yeah. But now I have another piece of material that I can use to, see how it feels. So I can compare the Ion 20 denier, 20D, whatever, and some 15D. And then I still want to buy the 7D taffeta. I read these words. I've never heard them pronounced, so I know it's going to be wrong, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But I want to get that. I want to get that done, and because making your own gear, you don't do it to save money because you spend so much time doing it that
Right.
you do it because you like your own, making your own stuff and the satisfaction, and like that's totally a thing, and I'm fine with that. But it's just like I want to try all of these different materials so I can see which one I actually want to use, and then it's like but now I got to actually do it, and I'm not the best at sewing. I can make something that kind of works, so that's good enough usually most of the time. In the background is a tote bag that's with X-Pack material. I was like, I want to try that, so I got the kit. I don't like the material. Like it's really sturdy, it's strong, like all that, but sewing it was just obnoxious, and it's really stiff, which is nice, but also bad. And I was like, I'm glad I worked with it. I'm glad I had something that works from it. I don't want to use it for like my normal stuff, so.
Completely understand.
But now I have a tote bag I can throw in the car and then never use because I don't go anywhere.